Someone tagged me in the parent group chat out of the blue. Leo's dad, I noticed the lunches you pack for your son look pretty fancy. Starting tomorrow, make an extra portion for my daughter too. I'm not asking for a handout. I'll give you $10 a day. By the end of the month, you'll actually be making a nice little profit. I stared at the screen, feeling nothing but pure disbelief. My son is an extremely picky eater with severe allergies. Every ingredient I use is flown in from specific organic farms across the country. A single meal cost me over $500 to prepare. And now, someone wanted to buy it for $10? I didn't hesitate. I typed a simple reply in the group. No. I didn't expect my son to come home crying from kindergarten the next day. He told me a classmate had snatched his lunchbox, and the teacher had called him selfish for not sharing. Fine. If they want to play dirty, I'll show them what happens when they cross the wrong man. I watched the messages flooding the group chat and almost laughed from spite. The person messaging me had a profile picture of himself with his daughter. His display name was Paisley's dad. Seeing that I hadn't replied immediately, he sent several more messages in a row. Leo's dad, are you there? My Paisley hasn't had much of an appetite lately, but she's really taken a liking to Leo's food. It's not like it's extra work. You're already cooking for your son, so making another portion is easy. $10 a day is a lot. You can get a fast food meal for that price. I know being a single dad is tough, so just look at this as a little extra grocery money. The condescending tone of his messages made my skin crawl. I have no idea where he got the idea that I was a struggling single dad. I do pick up my son alone, and I tend to dress in casual, comfortable clothes. He must have mistaken my low-key lifestyle for weakness. My son Leo was born with life-threatening allergies to many common ingredients. His digestive system is incredibly fragile, so I handle every aspect of his diet myself. His beef is a 5-grade organic Wagyu, and his vegetables are heirloom varieties grown without any chemicals. $10? That wouldn't even cover the cost of the eco-friendly container I put the food in. I didn't want to waste my breath, so I typed a quick response. I'm busy, and my son's meals are very expensive. $10 won't cover it. I thought a direct rejection would be the end of it. Instead, he sent a long voice note to the entire group. Oh, come on, Leo's dad. We're all parents in the same class. What happened to helping each other out? It's just a few pieces of meat and some greens. How expensive can it be? You act like you're serving him gold on a plate. You should raise a son with grit, but a girl needs to be pampered. My Paisley is a princess and she's growing. Why are you being so difficult? My blood started to boil as I listened to his ridiculous rant. I was about to go off on him when the homeroom teacher, Ms. Miller, jumped in. Leo's dad, Paisley's father, is only thinking about the children. Our school encourages the spirit of sharing. Since Paisley likes Leo's food, perhaps you could put in a little extra effort. It would help the children bond, wouldn't it? Seeing the teacher take his side made my face turn cold. I had just moved Leo to this high-end bilingual kindergarten, thinking the environment would be better. I didn't realize the staff would be just as classless. I tossed my phone aside and ignored the rest of the notifications. They could say whatever they wanted. There was no way in hell I was cooking for that brat. The next afternoon, I went to pick up Leo from school. As I approached the classroom, I saw him standing alone in a corner. His eyes were red, and his face was streaked with tears. My heart twisted painfully. I ran over and pulled him into my arms. Leo, what happened? Who hurt you? Leo saw me and let out a sob, clutching my shirt with his tiny hands. Daddy, I'm hungry. Paisley took my food. My head began to throb with a sudden sharp anger. I prepare exactly enough food for Leo's needs. If he didn't eat lunch, he had been starving for the entire day. More importantly, with his condition, missing a meal could lead to low blood sugar or stomach cramps. I suppressed my rage and turned to find Ms. Miller. She was laughing with a few other parents, but her smile vanished the moment she saw me. Leo's dad, you're here. I actually needed to have a word with you. Leo was very difficult during lunch today. Paisley just wanted to try a bit of his food, but he refused to let her have any. He even made her cry. I've already scolded Leo for his behavior. You should teach him at home that being selfish isn't a good trait. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My son's lunch was stolen, and somehow he was the one in the wrong. Ms. Miller, that lunch belonged to my son. Why should he be forced to give it away? Is this how you teach your students? My voice was loud enough to make the surrounding parents turn their heads. Ms. Miller looked embarrassed, and her tone sharpened. How can you speak to me like that? It's normal for kids to share food. Besides, Paisley's dad already talked to you yesterday. Even if you didn't want to make an extra portion, what's the harm in her having a few bites? Do you have no sense of community at all? I was shaking with fury as I pointed a finger at her. Don't talk to me about community. My son's meals are custom made to prevent an allergic reaction. You let Paisley steal his food and then call him selfish? I'm telling you now, this isn't over. I picked up Leo and walked out without another word. Back home, I made him a fresh meal. Watching him eat like he hadn't seen food in years made tears sting my eyes. I opened the group chat and tagged both Paisley's dad and Ms. Miller. I want an explanation for what happened at lunch today. Since when is stealing okay? I'll be at the school tomorrow morning. If my son doesn't get an apology, I'm not letting this go. A second later, Paisley's dad replied, Oh, so the villain is playing the victim now? My Paisley eating your kid's food is a compliment to you. Don't be so ungrateful. See you tomorrow then. You think I'm scared of you? The group chat was chaotic that night. After those arrogant messages, Marcus started rallying the other parents against me. Let's be real, everyone. This guy is a single dad who probably couldn't keep his wife, and he has a nasty temper to match. My Paisley felt sorry for his kid and tried to be friendly by sharing his food. Instead of being thankful, he's in here screaming at everyone. A kid from a broken home like that isn't going to be mentally healthy. You should all keep your kids away from Leo before he ruins them. A few parents who were close to Marcus immediately chimed in. Exactly. He's always acting so superior. Does he think his kid eats gold or something? Kids from single-parent homes are always selfish. Ms. Miller was right to scold him. Marcus, don't let him get to you. Your wife is a high-level executive at a top firm. You don't need to waste your time on lowlifes like him. I watched the disgusting comments scroll by, my fingers flying across the keyboard. Lowlife? Executive wife? Is that where you get the confidence to steal from a child? Since you think theft is justified, let's settle this in person tomorrow. We'll see who really doesn't belong in this school. I logged out of the app immediately. Anger was burning in my chest, but I forced myself to be calm. Marcus Thorne thought he could rule the school just because his wife had a fancy title. He even had the teacher in his pocket. Did he really think his little bit of influence made him untouchable? I walked onto the balcony and called my assistant. Get me the access codes for the school's security cameras, and look up a parent named Marcus Thorne. I want to know everything about his wife's background. Give me every detail. I want to know exactly what cards they're holding. I took a deep breath as I hung up. I had always kept a low profile to give Leo a normal, quiet life. I even sent my driver to the parent-teacher meetings. I never thought my humility would be seen as an invitation for these people to step on me. If they wanted a war, I'd give them one they wouldn't survive. The next morning, I arrived at the school right on time with Leo. I didn't go to the classroom. I headed straight for the principal's office. I wanted the principal to pull the footage and see the truth for himself. But halfway there, Leo tugged on my hand. Daddy, I left my sketchbook in the classroom. Can I go get it real quick? I nodded and let him go, waiting for him in the hallway. Less than 2 minutes later, a sharp, terrified scream came from the classroom. My heart nearly stopped. I sprinted toward the door. When I reached it, the scene inside made my vision turn red. Leo was huddled on the floor, his face pale and soaked with tears. That chubby girl, Paisley, was ripping Leo's sketchbook to shreds, making ugly faces at him as she destroyed his drawings. Her father, Marcus Thorne, was standing over Leo. He was holding a piece of dry, cheap, mass-produced bread and trying to shove it into Leo's mouth. Eat it. You love being so protective of your food, don't you? I'll make sure you get your fill today. My Paisley wanting your stuff is a blessing. How dare you try to hide it from her? Leo was struggling and coughing. The dry breadcrumbs were choking him, turning his face a dangerous shade of purple. When Marcus saw Leo resisting, he raised his foot and slammed his heavy leather boot down onto Leo's small hand. Ah! Leo let out a gut-wrenching cry. In that instant, every ounce of my restraint snapped. My logic was replaced by a cold, murderous rage. I charged in like a storm, kicking a desk out of the way with a deafening crash. I grabbed Marcus by the collar, slammed him against the wall, and delivered a slap so hard it echoed through the room. Slap! I used every bit of my strength. Marcus was dazed instantly, blood leaking from the corner of his mouth. I didn't stop. I swung again, hitting the other side of his face. You laid a hand on my son! I'll kill you! I roared, my eyes probably looking like those of a demon. Marcus finally snapped out of his shock. He started screaming like a cornered rat, lunging at me. You bastard! You dare hit me! Do you have any idea who my wife is? He grabbed a glass vase from a nearby table and hurled it at me. I dodged it, and the glass shattered against the wall. Marcus picked up a jagged shard of glass and pointed it at me, his eyes full of venom. My wife is Scarlett Thorne, the regional director at Apex Investments. You're dead. I'll make sure you and your brat are run out of this city. Just then, Ms. Miller and a group of security guards burst into the room. The teacher didn't even look at the situation before she started screaming at me. Leo's dad, have you lost your mind? How dare you commit an assault inside this school? Guards, grab him. If anything happens to Paisley's father, you'll never be able to pay for the damages. The guards began to close in on me. Marcus held the glass shard, a twisted, arrogant smirk growing on his face. Scared now? It's too late. I'm going to make you and your son crawl on the floor and lick my boots. I shielded Leo behind me, staring at Marcus with a gaze so cold it could have turned the room to ice. I ignored the guards and knelt down to check on Leo's hand. There was a deep, dark boot print on his fair skin. The area was already starting to swell and turn a sickening shade of purple. Leo was shaking with pain, biting his lip to keep from crying, his eyes filled with pure terror. The sight felt like a knife being driven into my heart. I could barely breathe from the pain of seeing him like this. I stood up and swept my gaze across the teacher and the guards. Try to touch me and see what happens. My voice wasn't loud, but the sheer authority in it made the guards freeze in their tracks. I pulled out my phone and dialed the police. I'm at Sunnyside Bilingual Kindergarten. My son has been assaulted, and I'm currently being threatened with a weapon. After hanging up, I looked at the still smirking Marcus. What did you say your wife's name was? Scarlett Thorne from Apex Investments? Marcus thought I was finally showing fear. He lifted his chin and waved the glass shard in front of my face. What? Finally realizing how much trouble you're in? My wife has connections in this city that a peasant like you couldn't even dream of. Get on your knees and beg for mercy right now. Maybe I'll consider letting you live. Ms. Miller chimed in with a sneer. Leo's dad, I warned you to know your place. You can't afford to offend someone like Paisley's father. Now that you've caused this mess, Leo is expelled, and good luck ever finding a job in this city again. I looked at these two pathetic clowns and let out a dark laugh. I didn't argue with them. I just called my assistant again. Get everything we have on Apex Investments. Tell the legal department to prepare a criminal lawsuit. Also, tell the head of Apex to get his ass down to Sunnyside Kindergarten in 10 minutes. Now. Marcus burst into a fit of exaggerated laughter the moment the words left my mouth. Ha ha ha. Look at this guy acting like a big shot. You're going to tell the head of Apex what to do? Who do you think you are? You've watched too many movies. The other teachers and parents nearby whispered and smirked, clearly thinking I was bluffing to save face. A few minutes later, the wail of sirens reached the school gates. Two police officers rushed into the classroom. They frowned at the mess and the sight of Marcus holding a shard of glass. Who called the police? What's going on here? The moment Marcus saw the officers, he dropped the glass. He clutched his swollen face and burst into fake tears, his act changing in a heartbeat. Officers, thank God you're here. This lunatic attacked me the second he walked in. Look at my face.